Yeah, hi, Noah. I'm Stan Fitzgerald. I'm the Chief Political Advisor with Veterans for America First, and hi to your better half there. Um, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to connect it to my Bluetooth in my car so I can hear you a little bit better, but you can keep talking.
Okay. Well, actually, I was going to ask you to talk, so let me know when you're ready.
All right. Well, if you can hear me, I'll talk whenever.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about your background and your candidacy?
Sure. So, a professional background. I'm an engineer, attorney, business founder, entrepreneur. I was a nonprofit director for about 5 years, the largest pro bono legal services nonprofit in the state of Nevada. I left a career as a patent attorney at a large law firm to pursue that and to run my startup company. We just received a patent for a technology that I invented around which the company is based. My wife and I are co-founders, and I'm a former U.S. Army officer. I was commissioned as an engineer officer in 1997. Later transferred into the JAG Corps after graduating law school at George Washington University in DC. Was stationed in Europe the whole time, in the Middle East that I was on active duty in Heidelberg, Germany, and then in Iraq in 2003, the early part of 2003. I participated in going across the Burm and from Kuwait into Iraq and going into Baghdad and pursuing Saddam and his sons Uday and Qusay, and got an opportunity to do a lot of international law of war, law of armed conflict. Um, it was a pretty incredible experience. Then came back to the United States after getting out of the army. I got out of the army in Europe, and then I went to law school again at German law school at the University of Heidelberg and got a second law degree. And then came back to the United States and worked as a patent attorney at a major U.S. law firm called Cooley in the DC area, then another law firm in Boston, and then finally in Orange County, California, and then left the practice of patent law to run a nonprofit activity, which I was recruited for the role. And that's why I came to Vegas. Never had been to Vegas actually in my life before moving here for that job. That was incredible. We gave free attorneys to all the children in the foster care system in Clark County, which is the most populous county in the state where Las Vegas is, and victims of sex trafficking, domestic violence survivors. I would go around to the top law firms in the country and get attorneys to volunteer to represent these children for free. It was an incredibly rewarding experience. And then, just watching what I believe we're in the midst of something like I've never seen before. If you think about what's going on globally and in the United States, you could kind of orient your thinking around what the dynamic was in the Cold War, but this is like two orders of magnitude beyond this. I mean, I believe that we're in the midst of something resembling a new form of World War III, some sort of a world war. And it's not just the United States, it's all over historically free liberal democracies that practice self-determination and representational government are under attack, because I think we're on the threshold of something really sinister that is looking to make freedom, liberty, self-determination, personal autonomy, basically obsolete concepts. And I believe that, you know, these wars, I mean, that like we spent $3 trillion, which is 10% of the national debt, at least in Afghanistan over 20 years to take the country away from the Taliban and then hand it back to them at the end of 20 years and give them $85 billion worth of weaponry out the door. That's what our disloyal rulers. You talk about mental health for veterans. Stop doing this to them. That's the number one. Let them serve with honor and respect their sacrifice and their service. But these politicians are completely disloyal. It's all corruption. It's $54 billion now to Ukraine. Can't get a dime for the United States. And that's something they can all agree on. It's one of the most corrupt countries in the world. The $54 billion does not exist. It's not in an account somewhere. They're borrowing it from our kids. And it's there's no accountability on the ground whatsoever. So everyone's getting rich now. It's a fire sale. They see the decline of the empire. They're trying to be the first out and plunder whatever they can on their way out the door. but we're a nation in decline. And I have a 7-year-old. So, I mean, as a father, as a citizen, as a patriot, I can't stand by while this is going on and not do my utmost to try to at least wake people up. And to the extent I'm able to get in office to try to stop it, reverse it. And people all understand, but we're almost to the tipping point beyond which we won't be able practically to resist the encroachment of authoritarianism, because this is not about Republican, Democrat anymore. It's not about liberal or conservative. It's about freedom and authoritarianism. That's where we're headed. It sounds ominous, but there's a concerted effort to keep us asleep about what's really going on. And by the time we wake up, it'll be too late. So that's my calibration on the whole campaign. That's why I'm running.
Thank you. And I think you answered my question, but can you tell us your position on the America First platform and President Trump?
So I'm 100% America First. We actually just got back from Mar-a-Lago. My wife and I have had an incredible time down there. Had dinner. We have with Mark Meadows and Debbie Meadows. It was fantastic. My wife's here with me. We had an incredible time. We're unapologetically America First. I mean, I think the enemies of the America First agenda are the folks running the show right now, like Kevin McCarthy, the heir apparent, current minority leader, Mitch McConnell. These two folks, I would never vote for. I'm astonished. I mean, I wouldn't. They're not. Their loyalty does not lie with American families, working families, business owners. They are part of the problem. If we vote for folks like that again, and I won't. I think that's one of the defining things about my candidacy. My competitor, I think we're neck and neck in this primary here. My competitor is absolutely, she's endorsed by Kevin McCarthy. She's vowed her first vote in Congress to be for Kevin McCarthy as Speaker. I think it would be an epic disaster. We wouldn't get the truth on anything. We'll never get the truth on the election that was stolen, 100% stolen. Now we've got a fake regime and destroying the country. And we won't get truth on the FBI overreach, their abuses, January 6th, all this stuff with Kevin McCarthy in there. It'll be more of the same. He's out there cheerleading to send more of our money that doesn't exist to a country that most people don't even know where it is. And it's one of the most corrupt countries in the world because they have to have these permanent wars. These permanent wars are a characteristic attribute of the current permanent ruling class that has basically plundered American freedom and sent it overseas and cashed out American greatness for their own personal benefit of themselves and their families, whether it's the Biden crime family or whatever you want to say. But we're unapologetically 100% America First all the way, probably definitely the most America First candidate in the state in any race, but nationally, we're one of the top as well. I was identified as one of the most dangerous GOP candidates in the country by Salon and Vox and others. We're fighting the fight like Kerry Lake and Eric Greitens and Joe Kent and all these folks. None of us are the folks in the Afghanistan, Iraq generation. We've seen this movie before. We've been there, done that. That's where we're headed. If you want to respect veterans, get the wokeness out. Stop kicking people out for exercising their personal liberty with an experimental vaccine and weakening the force, and stop having these endless wars. This is what when these people sign up and they take the oath of office, they're serious. They're sincere. They're writing that blank check. They're exploited and abused by these leaders, and it's disgusting the way that they wrap themselves in the patriotism of these people who actually did serve, so that they can get more money for themselves. I doubt that 50% of that $54 billion goes to Ukraine. I would guarantee you it's less than 50%.
And Noah, when is your primary? You broke up a little. I'm sorry.
June 14th.
Okay.
Hey, let me see. I don't think I have it on speaker. Hang on a second.
No, I could hear you. Okay.
Okay.
I think actually we have all we need. I personally find you an excellent candidate, and Patrick Collis referred you to us from Christian Patriots United. And I'm sorry it took us so long to get back to you. We kind of got buried with a lot of stuff going on here. But I'm going to forward this to the board for review, and you'll hear back from myself or one of the other members hopefully this week.
Well, that's wonderful. And Patrick's a great brother. He's a fighter. I love Patrick and all the work he does. I mean, that guy is a true hero for veterans. He's a great guy. I'm really proud to know him.
Well, thank you, Noah, for your time. And I think I'm friends with your wife on Facebook, and I saw your pictures from Mar-a-Lago. Uh, Good stuff. My wife and I have been there a few times as well, and hopefully we'll meet you in person one day, maybe there.
Wonderful. I can't wait.
All right, you take care now, both of you.
All right. You too. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye now.
Bye.